Basketball doesn't last forever, but the lessons do. I'm Nick Crossan, owner of EBC Training Centers, and this is Purpose Over Points, a podcast filmed inside EBC, the heart of Washington's premier training center. Purpose Over Points stands apart from your traditional basketball podcasts by blending coaching education, mentorship, storytelling, and the importance of family and community connection. It's not just about developing athletes, it's about developing people. Here we talk about life after basketball and what happens when the points stop adding up and the real scoreboard becomes your character, your purpose, and your growth. Welcome to Purpose Over Points. I'm your host, Nick Crossan. Today's guest is a very special human in my life. He's a mentor. He's a great friend of mine. If you're listening, you better stop what you're doing. Tune in. Let me tell you something. You're going to be empowered. This man is special, very special. If you're watching, you better zoom in and you better also zoom out because your life is going to be changed in many different ways. Today's guest, he's an accomplished actor, inspirational speaker, head girls basketball coach at Bellevue High School, former collegiate athlete and proud Rainier Beach graduate, where he was a two-time state champion and led the number 2 team in the country as a captain of the team. He's built his life around leadership, service, mentorship, both on and off the court. He currently serves as a mentorship director from the city of Seattle under the leadership of Mayor Bruce Harrell. Romell is helping shape the next generation of community leaders. He's also spent 4 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, mentoring some of the world's best athletes in the world as a player management and team chaplain. In 2020, Romell was a part of the World Championship run and holds that NBA championship ring near and dear. His role was respected in the locker rooms, and that's where he currently serves in the lives of others. Through basketball, Romell shares lessons of life, faith, purpose, and uses the game as a platform to motivate and uplift others. Please welcome our guest, Romell Witherspoon.
My brother, I appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
I do, man.
Welcome, man. Romell and I actually had an opportunity. We met COVID. COVID time, and he needed a place to work out. My brother-in-law, Aaron, he was friends with Terrell Brown, and they were working out. Romell was in the gym, and I just let him be. And I let Romell be who he is. He's a special, special man. I'm going to call it right now, and people might not like it, but you're looking at the state championship coach. This is a state championship coach. I gotta
agree with you.
He's on his way. But Romell, purpose over points. The ball stops bouncing for all of us, and those are scary times. Those are scary times for us as people, especially as athletes. When that moment came for you, were you ready?
You know what? I wasn't, if I'm being honest. Well, first off, bro, I appreciate you for allowing me to be a part of this space with Purpose Over Points. I think it sums up who we are as men, let alone how we are as brothers. And it is a genuine friendship. And that's something that I want the world to know, that I do hold our friendship on a very high level. I wasn't prepared for it to come because I didn't think it would actually come. On the flip side, I knew I didn't want to be a professional athlete because I wanted to be an actor more than I wanted to hoop. But once it started to find its place, my mind started to change.
Absolutely.
And then I found out real fast, there's levels to this. Yeah, there's levels to this.
Absolutely.
And so I wasn't necessarily prepared from a physical standpoint because I felt like I could still play. And that's where it gets weird, where you physically fit the part, but life doesn't consider it to be the same. And so that's part of why I coach now, is because I still have to find a way to be a part of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful things about your story is, you took the stairs to everything that you've done. And I think the beautiful thing about who you are is you've been around so many high-level people, including yourself. You've been in rooms with people that, on paper, I guess you're not supposed to fit in.
That's true.
But you talk about the confidence code. And you talk about being the person that you are, building your self-confidence, talking to yourself, in the game of basketball, or in sports when you were growing up. Was there anything that you weren't ready for when the ball stops bouncing for you? Was there anything specifically that stuck out in your life that you just simply weren't ready for?
I think the shift of routine.
Yeah.
You're no longer getting up to hit the weights. You're no longer getting up to do speed and agility. You're not putting your shots up. You're not trying to be a 3-level scorer and throwing, 500 left-hand hook passes, 500 right-hand hook passes. The routine just changes. But I found out, real fast that confidence and joy are married to each other, but it's an inside job.
Yeah.
It's an inside job, Nick. No one can give it to me and no one can take it away. The reason why I hang my hat on being a mentor is, one, I believe that God put that gift inside of me, but two, I want to try to be the bridge to what youth or adults don't know is coming. You know, a bridge is designed to get from one side of the water to the other. That's what it's there for. And I think we're all trying to get from one thought to another, one career to another. And there is a bridge, and the bridge is usually hinged on a thought. And I'm happy that I had a dad that didn't allow me to, you know, woe is me and feel sorry for myself. I had to have a plan on the way there. That's what set me apart, is I always knew that I'm going to actively be in pursuit of the secondary prize, if you will, once the ball stops bouncing.
Yeah. If you could go back and tell your younger self something right now, what would it be?
Compete harder. I think I was a competitor. I was going to compete regardless. I'm talking about in the classroom. I'm not even talking about sports. I'm talking about the purpose over points in real time. The purpose of competing hard means that would have been my DNA. And you can't control where you're born into, but you can control the life that you want to be born into. And so I would have taken the small things way more serious.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because I feel like conversations we've had, the grace that maybe you should give yourself, because you're in a position where a lot of high school athletes, especially now, would absolutely run away from it. You played with some high-level athletes. Go ahead. I'll let you speak on those people that you played with.
Yeah, and I see exactly where you're going with this, too. Yeah. And I'm going to be fully transparent, too. I genuinely believe that I went to high school at the worst time in Washington State history. Absolutely. I would just be real with you. We were number one in the country. There's Nate Robinson, Roderick Stewart, Terrence Williams, Ryan Anderson, Emeka Iweka, Josh Love, Randy Green. The list goes on and on. I mean, that's just 7, 8 people off the top of my head in terms of who were there while I was there that played my position. And I'll never forget this. I'm at Rainier Beach and primarily there for football, but basketball was still a primary sport for me as well. And it was open gym and I didn't get on at all. These are my friends too. Yeah. So it ain't like it's strangers. It's like, So I went to my dad and was like, yeah, it's quiet over here. It's too much. Like, they're my age and then younger is coming in. I mean, we can go. Coach Coleman, rest in peace, was at Renton. I'm like, that's an easy. I can go play with Stephon Brown. I could go play with Jeff Burns, with Lyell. We could have a situation over here. And they went to state, by the way. Renton was nice at the time. And my dad basically was like, find a way to get on the floor. Don't play. But I'm not going to remove hard from you because you're about to show me how bad you really want this. I think at that point, I was born. Romell Witherspoon was born. The guy that really put in the extra work. I was not the most gifted. I was not the tallest. I did not jump high. I was defensively athletic. I was twitchy. I was quick. I was fast, but that I was kind of limited in my size at that. So I had to ask myself, what is it going to take for me to get on the floor? And I was moving with that on purpose. And my whole style was purpose over points. I'm going to take the leadership. That's purpose. I'm going to defend. I'm going to keep you under your average. And shout out to my guy, Mike Knight and Chad Troyer and Martell Webster. If you ask any of those three right now, there's articles out. That's what I did. Yeah. No one wanted to see me coming. I'm not saying by no stress that they feared me, but there was something about the way I defended that kept me on the floor. Then it hit me, Nick, in that moment. Wait a minute. If I can be amongst the best of the best, but do the little things better than the best of the best that don't require talent, my purpose now becomes an asset and not a liability. Once I put my emphasis on that, I got a scholarship averaging 3-4 points a game. It wasn't, I didn't even have a desire to score. Yeah. If it came to me, great. I wanted to be a part of this team though, because now I could prove to myself, I could play with anybody and not have a highlight, but I'm literally going to do the non-negotiables that don't show up in the stat sheet. Man, those people go on further in life. And guess what? Half the people that passed me on the way up when we were young are asking for favors on the way down. Yes. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I mean, it's a real thing.
Yes. And that's why I admire one of many things about you is the fact that, yes, your purpose is way deeper than putting the basketball in the hole. Your purpose is way deeper than scoring a touchdown when you're playing football and making those big plays. The confidence that you have built as a man is incredible. So I want to give a ton of flowers to you.
I appreciate that, bro.
The shoes that you're in, You got to be built different to do it. You really do. And there's a lot of people that they escape it. They want to run away from those challenges. So again,
and you know what I found people do in the process of building? They stop building because either one, they didn't count up the cost to make sure they could complete the house before they bought it, and then secondly, that's the hardest part is the foundational part. Yes. So some people like they pull the plug right at the last minute, and I just so happened to be one of those kids that just didn't stop.
Yes.
That's what separated me is that, and to your point, the confidence, it is such an inside job. You can't give it or take it. Either you have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, there's a way to gravitate toward it.
Absolutely.
But it's about becoming. Yes. Everything is about becoming.
Take us back. What did basketball, or not just basketball, really sports in general, what did it mean to Romell?
It meant everything to me because that was honestly the only way for me to get any validity to what I thought I was at the time. And you're either one of two things, a product of your environment, or your environment is a product of you. And everyone in my environment played sports. So you wanted to always try to compete at a high level, but it gave me purpose because I was able to get a reward from the work, whether you try out and make the team or try out and don't make the team, whether you make the team and want to get a starting spot or don't get a starting spot. It kept being this constant moving target that kept me ambitious. So now as an adult at 39, the same exact processive qualities at 8 and 9 at Rainier and Rainier Beach is applicable right now, this very second. So when I was able to go into an audition in New York and see Tracy Morgan sitting across from me, I'm like, man, I've already had to compete against way too much. This is par for the course. So my body and my mind became numb to what seems to be a challenge, and it just accepted opportunity more than anything.
Absolutely. You are not shy about talking about things that people don't want to talk about.
For sure.
That is another feather in your cap, but also something that builds confidence. Someone like me, you know, that those uncomfortable moments, that it's that confidence code that you're talking about.
Yep.
It gives you that confidence to sit in those rooms and to have those conversations with people. Could you tell me, why is that so important to you, to have those uncomfortable conversations? Why is that?
I've always been the type that wants to take the road less traveled because my dad gave me a quote years ago that said, if you want to know what a man will do, follow him home and see what he's already done. And so I want to be, I'll take a line from you. I want to be famous in my own home.
Yeah.
That's for starters. But the ultimate is, how and why am I so purpose driven?
Yeah.
And when you're purpose driven, you don't fear any type of backlash.
Yeah.
And what I learned being at Bellevue, and what I've learned being at Rainier Beach, what I've learned being a husband, what I've learned being a father, what I've learned being a competitor, and I think you'll attest to this, but criticism is the taxes on success.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Criticism is the taxes. That means they're taking 40% of our check, and it's going, we got to pay taxes so the roads can be built and the earth can keep to whatever. If you are not being criticized, you are missing your purpose in your life.
Yes.
Because you have to do something that most people won't do. And my question is this will appeal and subscribe to anybody out there who would listen to what I'm about to say. Who told the first pilot ever that joint was gonna work? He didn't have Google. He didn't have a book. He had his confidence. He had his aerodynamics. He had his math. And he believed that I'm going to suspend myself between heaven and earth for the first time. I'm going to figure out why it will work going up and why it will work coming down. Who told him this is going to work? Yeah. He had nothing except for I believe. Yeah. Sometimes those two words sum up everything.
Absolutely.
I believe. Ironically, I kid you not, just 3 days ago, I'm at a UW game and the lady comes and tap my shoulder. Hi, would you be interested in shooting a half-court shot for some frequent flying miles? I said, are elephants heavy? Like, yes, absolutely. She said, do you play basketball? I said, no, I don't. I throw it up there and hope it works out from time to time. But right when I signed up for it, Nick, I'm like, oh, I'm leaving here. There's no question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Layup, free throw, three-pointer, half-court. I believed it was going to work by saying, yes, I'll shoot.
Yep.
As soon as I said, yes, I'll participate, there is a walk between my seat and the opportunity. And I know I'm in the middle of UW with all of these people watching. I get that.
Yeah.
This could go good or it could go bad.
Yeah.
The confidence code says, do it scared.
Yeah.
Do it anyway and believe that joint's gonna work. And then change your attitude and change the way you walk and change the way you. Why do you think somebody get an and one and scream? Because they believed it all along. Yeah. And I need you to know that you can't stop me by my body language. I can't say it to you, yes, but you see I don't fear you.
Exactly.
Bro, that's contagious.
Yes. It'll
show up in your marriage. It'll show up at work. And all of a sudden, people need and will pay for what they don't have access to.
Amen. Yes.
So that's really what made me go, wait a minute. People want to be around me, not because of what they can get from me, what I can get to them. That's a skill all by itself. Absolutely. And because this is the only thumb in the world, that means there's one thing in me that no one in these 8.7 billion people in the world has.
Right.
And I think that is applicable to everybody.
Absolutely.
But that's what made me take the road less traveled, to your point.
I love it. I love it. Powerful. I mean, I told you, we just getting started.
It's real talk, though.
I'm telling you, you're going to be influenced. We talk about stacking days. One of the big things we talk about, purpose over points, is winning the scoreboard of life. As an athlete, that scoreboard, those lights were very bright when we were young.
Yeah.
But they slowly started to dim away. And then all of a sudden they shut off.
Yeah.
And now there's new lights up there. And that's our life. And now we're talking about being a man. You're talking about being a husband, everything that goes, all the things that the game brings to the table with that scoreboard. People often miss all those small things that it takes to win a state championship, that it takes just to win a basketball game. They just look at the final product, and they look at that scoreboard and it's 98 to 90, and that's all they see.
Yeah.
Those small things and all the little things that goes to winning on that scoreboard, I think people miss what it takes.
Agreed.
When they're stacking days and they're doing those small things to get to that end goal. How do you define winning your life on the scoreboard?
That's a really good question. I think Les Brown has a quote that says, some people don't aim at something and miss, they aim at nothing and hit nothing dead on the head. I define winning on the scoreboard in life when I set my sights on a target and I execute on that target. That's a victory in my life. And surrounding myself around the right players is a part of winning on the scoreboard.
Yes.
My wife, to me, is an incredible screen setter. Yeah. She gets me open. I get credit for making the three-pointer. Draymond Green gets nothing for getting Steph open,
right,
except for a high five. But there's no stat for it. And so I know that Tiana has played such a major factor in my life that she is a part of my winning process. So if you're not willing to surround yourself around other people who are headed in the same direction, it's going to be difficult to win.
Absolutely.
So the best thing I could do is generally manage, be a GM of my team, and put people around me who are going to have my six and have my blind spots. And to me, that's winning on the scoreboard, when everyone around me wants to see me win. Because to your point, we can do everything right and lose in a game.
Yes.
Because there's a fine line between losing and getting beat. You know what I mean? Like, if you lose, that's a tough one. You get beat. I mean, you get beat. That means they came out and did this. When you lose, you dribble it off your foot. You miss 7 free throws. That's just different. So winning in life to me is when I really set out a plan and I put forth the effort to execute it, whether I make it or miss it. Did I plan it? Did I put effort into it? And did I give my best? I'm absolutely winning, because the law of averages say eventually it'll land in my favor. And if you're shooting 40% from 3, you're a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
So I just want to get it right 40% of the time.
Amen to that. Amen. We have mirror moments in our lives where we all have to look in the mirror and take a really hard look on where we're at and who we are in that exact moment. Can you share a moment in your life where you really had to look in the mirror, you had to face adversity, and you had to lean into it? What did that teach you about yourself and how you go about your day now?
Whenever I've had to lean into adverse times, what it taught me is that I am not the same as I was a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that I'm forever evolving and that it only gets harder. I don't think people talk about that very much.
Exactly.
It does not get easier.
Right.
You may learn how to win with a weakness, but it doesn't get easier.
Right.
I think the best thing that I did for myself when it pertains to leaning into adversity is anticipating it before it gets there.
Okay.
And that's why I tell parents all the time, man, especially with purpose over points, If you want to see what type of young man or young woman or young lady your daughter or your son is, watch how they handle adverse times on the court in real time. And so the best thing that I could ever do is anticipate it. And when it gets here, what am I going to do with it? But my heart rate has to stay the same. But yeah, leaning into it is anticipating it before it gets there. And there have been some very adverse times, considering even when COVID hit.
Yes.
I graduated from high school at 17.
Yeah.
Some of y'all reclassed 9 times, but I graduated at 17. I was supposed to have another year at high school. I left Seattle 3 days before my birthday to go to college, came back for a couple weeks. So I technically was out of Seattle from 17 to 30.
Wow.
I was in Georgia, I was in New York, then I was in LA, and then COVID.
Yep.
Things are trajecting just right. Magic Johnson, I'm so thankful for him putting me in that situation, had plans for me the following year. I talked to him about what it would look like. I explained this to my family about this is what's about to happen. I'm anticipating, I'm kind of counting the money before I get it.
Absolutely.
And then he quit.
Oh, wow. That's adverse.
That's adverse, especially when I kind of anticipated off of a conversation. Magic Johnson, the day he quit, he literally, I don't know if it was nervous energy or what, he pulled me aside and was like, yeah, man, we're at Staples Center. I kid you not. I'm not, as God is my witness. I'm like, bro, there's a lot of people who would like to be talking to you. I don't know if you just, oh, this is the perfect fall guy right now. Like, I don't feel like talking to nobody. So let me talk to Romell. And he was just basically saying like, I'm done. Him and Rob didn't see eye to eye at the time, but his move impacted me.
Yes.
So I literally had to abruptly move back to Seattle, which is where I ended up meeting you. But look at the beauty of adversity always gives birth to a new life.
Yeah, yes.
If there's nothing you hear me say today, adversity gives birth to a new life. And I think that's why leaning into it is the only option that makes sense long term.
Absolutely. I want to hit a little bit on the professional athletes that you've mentored. I think it's really good for listeners, especially young athletes. Like we talk about this, times are different. Kids are jumping around. They're trying to chase the money. They're not being present in the moment. But you're around the best athletes in the world. And you're in a room similar like this. It's you, it's Steph Curry, it's LeBron James, it's Brandon Ingram, it's Quinn Cook, it's these high-level athletes. Yeah. But they have the same struggles we do. And they're in the same room, and they're just put on this pedestal because the camera's in front of them 24/7. They get 0 breaks. They're getting judged absolutely constantly all the time. And talk about, you don't need to talk about exactly maybe examples, but talk about some of the things you did in your scouting reports. With those, because I think those are powerful moments. They are, man.
I think what I've learned is on that level, some people are so poor, Nick, all they have is money. I really noticed that if you don't have somebody and something to lean into, life can get lonely and alone simultaneously. I speak to Dwayne Eskridge every Sunday before every game. He's a wideout for the Miami Dolphins. And we don't miss a game. We don't miss a scouting report. And to your point, I've been fortunate enough to mentor all those names that you mentioned and more, from Colin Sexton to Julius Randle, you name it, Jared Dudley, people who I know I can reach out to. But I also realize they are as human as the day is long.
Exactly.
And what I realized and what I explained to them, and this is what I would love to explain to the audience too, if all you are is what you do, you're a nobody. If all you are is what you do, you have missed the mark of life.
Yes.
By a couple miles.
That's deep.
And when you you know how many people tie their success to the monetary recipient of the work that they do?
Lots.
They think I am somebody because I make more money than you, but I have more purpose than you and more impact than you and more influence than you. So when I stand before God, I know it's a life well lived. I've given way more than I could ever receive.
Absolutely.
That's just who I am. I met you because you gave me the keys to your gym and said, take your time, man. I understand. That's why I told you I will never be at another program. This is arguably, in my opinion, the best program in the state, based from A to Z.
Yeah.
I've seen it,
Yeah.
and I've experienced it. So because I have a firsthand experience, sure, you could call it bias. I'm just telling you how it impacted me.
Right.
And so what I'm looking at on that level is, oh shoot, we're skipping steps when we see kids that are on trajectory to go there. If we don't get it now, they will just be a richer version of who they are right now.
Yes.
Which means you're going to eventually and inevitably mismanage that moment whenever it does show up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what Purpose Over Points all about.
It literally is.
Right there.
It helps you put a premium on what is important in order of operation, from most important to least important.
Exactly. I want to talk about your coaching and mentorship. I know this, a lot of people know this, but there are also a lot of people that don't know this, of the type of mentor that you are. You walk it, you breathe it, you speak it, and you have action behind everything you do, which is not easy to do. There is a lot of people in this world that will judge and not be able to do anything that they're just judging on.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a coach who teaches basketball and one who teaches it through basketball?
The one who teaches basketball only is going to be limited all the time, because basketball is a funny game. It's here today and gone today at the same time, depending on how teams squeeze you. But when you look at someone who coaches life through basketball, they know what we talked about at the top, the ball will stop bouncing. So if I have a luxury to give you life survival tactics through a game that is mirror imaged and applicable in life. Sometimes you're down 20 in life, sometimes you're up 20 in life. And it's almost like not taking advantage of the little things is important. Matter of fact, there's a short story. It's fiction, but it's applicable to what we're talking about. And this man and a wife owned a farm. And on the farm, Nick, was a lot of, they had every animal you could think of. But obviously you got rodents too whenever you have all those kind of animals. So there was a bunch of mouse traps set up. So the mouse came out and went over to the chicken and was like, "Hey man, you think you can help me move this mouse? I mean, this mouse trap, I just don't want to step on it." And the chicken was like, "That don't have nothing to do with me." He said, "Okay." He went over to the pig. "Hey man, you think you can help me move this mouse trap? They're everywhere. I don't want to step on it." Pig said, "That ain't got nothing to do with me." He went over to the cow and was like, "Big fella, you can step on this and not feel nothing. You think you can get these mouse traps out the way? I really don't want to step into one. That don't have nothing to do with me." Well, a couple days go by and a snake is making its way and falls into a trap. The mom comes out there trying to get the snake out of the trap. Boom, snake grabs her arm. Well, here's where it gets slippery. The bite from the snake, Nick, didn't really do anything. But because she didn't get it off as quick as possible, the venom from the bite made her take ill. When life bites you, you must get it off quickly before it gets in your veins. So the mom took ill. And her husband was like, "Babe, what can I do? I need you to feel better." She said, "I could really use some chicken soup." The same chicken that didn't want to help move that trap ended up on her plate. And then in the morning, he was like, "You feeling better?" She said, "A little bit. I could use some bacon though." The same pig that didn't want to help move that mouse trap ended up on her plate. Then the next day she said, "I am feeling great. We got to celebrate. I'm feeling better. I could use some filet mignon." The same cow that didn't want to help her move the mouse trap ended up on her plate. 3 generations and 3 different species all fell victim to not doing something so small that would not have impacted their life. Do you know how many coaches don't help people move something so small and it won't impact their life? Then they wonder why there's venom in their team.
Exactly.
They wonder why there is an infection in their life or an infection in their team. So to me, that's the vast difference between a coach who coaches the game. I ain't moving that mousetrap. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm here about hoop.
Right.
All that extra stuff you got going on, I ain't got to leave that out the door. No, bring that inside so I can know what I'm dealing with. Because I have to coach every single person different.
Exactly.
And so the opposition, the coach who does it right, they go move the mousetrap, even though it inconveniences them. Because they know, I can move this and it not impact me, and it will save you. So what am I going to sacrifice? My time, my energy, my effort, my foresight, my wisdom, where I fail, making sure you don't make the same mistake.
Right.
That's the difference between a mentor and a life coach.
Yes.
A life coach just gives you advice, global advice, general advice. You can be in the hedge funding and I know nothing about it and I can give you advice on decision making. But a mentor says, I walked it, I lived it, I talked it, I've made it, I didn't make it. I fell here. I won here. Here's what you will feel. Here's what you won't. And here's who you could talk to. And there lies the rough.
Whew.
So that was a lot. That was a lot. But it's real. Yeah.
It's super real because you hit it on the head. Like, there are so many coaches that just want to coach the game, and they don't understand what the game teaches.
It's a lifetime contract. Don't sign up to coach if you're not willing to parent.
Exactly.
I literally father my girls at Bellevue. I father them, and I'm transparent with the parents because I'm like, I'm about to help raise them more than you for the next 5 months.
Exactly.
They leave the house at 7:30. School starts at 8. We're out at 3. We got weights at 3:30. Film at 4:15. Practice at 5:45 to 7:45. They come home, eat dinner, do homework, and do it all over again.
Exactly.
You have to know the details.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, I didn't become a better coach until I was a parent.
Big time.
That's what made me a better coach.
Wow.
Because
wow.
that made me look into your eyes as a parent
Differently.
way differently.
Yes, bro.
As is looking at you like, why does your kid act this way or what? And that younger me was that coach. It was more about the basketball until I had kids. And I thought, well, wait a minute.
They go together.
It's a triangle.
Yeah.
It's a triangle with this.
But that's you coming into the purpose over the points in your life.
Yes.
In real time.
Absolutely. What do younger coaches and players need to understand about purpose before they ever step on the basketball court?
How do I impact their life more than I impact the scouting report? If Absolutely. I get you the hooper, I don't know what I'm gonna get. If I get you the person, I know exactly what I'm gonna get. So I think that's the misconception is that I don't even think you can have a. Let's put it like this. I've seen, and some of them are out there. I've seen people be a part of successful teams, and unsuccessful programs. Your team is winning, but your life is not benefiting from it.
Yes.
Your team is winning, but you're miserable along the way.
Yes.
Your team is gifted, but you are not enthused about your work anymore.
Right.
So the program can be diluted and the team can be good enough to operate and still be functional.
Absolutely.
But little do we know when the ball goes flat, guess what? You're about to have to go all the way back to scratch.
Yes.
And relearn what everybody else learned along the way.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Especially for listeners and the young kids right now, because there are many kids, families, that make those decisions for their kid to put them in those situations because they think it's a quote unquote a better thing because there's more glory behind it. So what I mean by that is, let's take my kid for example. Let's say he's a good basketball player and you want to put him in the EYBL, but he's not really an EYBL kid, but he's on the team. And that kid suffers because they're just what you talked about. They're sitting the bench, they're miserable, their team is winning, but they are dying inside.
Yep.
Absolutely dying. So I think that's important for parents to listen and hear because
I've seen this movie.
You've got to do the scouting report on your own kid.
Yeah.
You have to look at it from a business perspective with your kid.
Yeah.
Like, is this really going to benefit my kid, not only on the court, but off the court? I could blindfoldly, God willing that you're still coaching, I can blindfoldly say, this is who you're playing for. There's no brainer. You play or don't play, guess what? I know for a fact they're getting the mentorship that they need.
Yep.
And I know for a fact when the ball stops bouncing, oh, they're going to be great.
The competitive edge, they'll have it. And like, why wouldn't, my son is 5, Romell is 5. He just played in his first game last Saturday on the little 8-foot hoops.
Yes.
0.0 rebounds, 0 steals. But we don't even need to talk about that.
We're not counting.
He got me tight for a second. But no, in real time, he's playing because he showed interest.
Yeah.
Well, that's all he sees at home and so forth. Once he becomes of age, this would be my advice to anybody who's like, okay, I hear what you're saying, Nick, but what is the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, here's how I would classify both of our statements. Go to the finish line. And I'm talking about after you're done playing.
Yeah.
A family, a husband, a wife, a business owner, a hard worker, an entrepreneur. Go to the finish line and then work your way backwards and determine what type of education you want to get. Where do you want to get it? Who do you want to play for? Go all the way back and then start at the same spot that will put you in alignment to where you finished at. Because a man should never look at where he fell. He should always look at where he slipped. Because if you avoid the slip, there is no fall.
Ooh.
So if I can go to the finish line and go, okay, I want to go in the Ivy League.
Yeah.
Got it. Because you want to have the education. Okay. So that's the college situation. Then we're going to work and go, which high school AAU program can put me in a situation to learn how to play the game the way they do in Ivy League, where I can get the right film. We can lose by 30 every night.
Yep.
But I've never seen a college coach recruit a team.
Right.
I've seen them recruit players. And then which high school coach and high school program will put me in that best situation? And are they connected to where I'm trying to get to? And then which little league, which AAU program as a child would that put me in? Which kid can instill the confidence where I'm not 15 going, yeah, Bobby just doesn't have the confidence. So I'd say go to the finish line and work your way backwards, and our answers will be answered for them.
Yeah, absolutely. How should young athletes focus on their life scoreboard while still chasing points in the game?
I think young athletes should focus on the scoreboard by process. Nothing but process.
Let's talk about the process, because I always say I do as hard as we all are on kids now. How different it is than you and I grew up. You got to give them a lot of grace because there is a lot of distractions in their world. Right? Yeah. We didn't have social media like that. Everything you do is blasted in front of your face. We were just talking about this before the show. You've got things that pop up in your phone. You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
If for those types of moments that you kind of look at for those kids, what do you think that they should be focusing on with all these distractions outside of them?
I think the real focus has to be on what takes your focus.
Yeah.
That's what takes my attention away, what ruins my attention span. And I promise you, entertainment has zero ROI. Yeah. There's no return.
You might want to say that again, because
entertainment has no return or reward attached to it. It is literally something that is fleeting, and once you pay it, it's over. And I think that when I say focus on process to learn what it means to win on the scoreboard while focusing on points, is being purpose driven for the process. The process is I need to strengthen where I'm weak, reinforce where I'm strong, anticipate my opponent's strengths, and maximize their weaknesses. Over and over and over. And hard work and being focused on the process does not guarantee results.
That is a huge statement.
It just improves the opportunity and the probability.
Yes.
We're all about probability, the likelihood.
It's so deep and true because, again, we have this social media world that we live in and kids look up to. They see the instant gratification. They go watch these players train. They watch these top trainers, and they try to emulate that. Right? Yeah. It goes, again, like we talk about, dividing those little things that they do, but they continue to try to say, well, hey, I saw this video on Julius Randle working out, and he's going between his legs, behind his back, step back into a jump shot. Why should he can do that. Why can't I do that? How can I want to try to emulate this so I can put it in my game when they're not ready for that. They're not ready for those moments to where there's levels to this.
There is.
And I think that's what's missing.
Yeah. And you know what, too, to classify that, what they don't realize is that with freedom comes trust and responsibility. He earned the right to take that shot.
Exactly.
Over the course of being rhythmic, over the course of what they present to the table. And putting him in space against that guy might put us in the best situation to win at the time or whatever. But there's a responsibility that comes with it. But everyone can't play that way.
Right.
And so as a coach and as a program, you have to know where my strengths at, where my weaknesses are, and then do I work on that shot over and over and over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's hard because we see a lot of players that will work on something. Basketball's a very hard sport, and they will work on something, and they might not just be good at it because, God willing, they just don't have the ability to do those things. But like we talk about, your purpose, if your purpose is there, and it's more than just points at a young age, and you can grasp those things, you'll find yourself on a team. And you'll find yourself on the team that you shouldn't, quote unquote, be on.
Yep.
And just like you, in your life, you took the stairs and you are flying by these people that supposedly on paper should be where you are, but they're not.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, there's no knock to it.
No, not at all. I just
Everybody has
operated
a-
in my purpose. That's all.
Exactly.
And I was consistent in my purpose. And I knew that my purpose didn't equate to stardom,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I knew it equated to impact, though.
Absolutely.
And that's a different level.
Absolutely. I want to kind of go back to all those players you mentioned that you've mentored, whether they're pro or not pro.
Yep.
High school, middle school. I want to talk about, and I want people to know that you're open to this. This is what you do.
That's what I do.
And I want people to understand that like you are an open book and how they can come to you, because I think you're a rarity. And it's why I respect you so much. You are super rare in what you do because you're very genuine and there's no ego behind it.
Zero.
Tell people where they can find you. How can they get information? How can they plug in with you?
Yeah.
And what's the best way?
Well, I definitely appreciate that, Nick. And it does take one to know one.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You see in me what I see in you. And that's why we have kindred spirits like we do. We operate in such decency and in order, man. It's just, we're considered old school.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Right.
In this era, we're the OGs of genuine love, of genuine intent. But yeah, I started the Confidence Code and the Scouting Report, which are the same but different. The Scouting Report is more on the athlete front. The Confidence Code is more on the non-athlete front. But you can just direct message me at Romell_Witherspoon on Instagram,
Okay.
or email me rwspoon4@gmail.com. And you could just say that you're interested. I would send you a questionnaire, explain what we're all about at the Scouting Report. And you would be surprised, man, that a lot of people don't know they need it until they experience it. My favorite food is sushi, but it took me so many years to try what I thought would be disgusting.
That's hilarious.
To figure out that it's the best thing that I've ever tried.
I hate
And so,
I'm in that same category, I think. I think if I tried it, I like it.
man, it's something. It's like golf. I'm like, I ain't playing this. Now I can't put it down.
Yeah.
But I really do think that everyone should experience the inside trade to confidence, the inside trade to thought process. And I've been able to take and collect so much data from different people. And, someone could say, well, Romell, what makes you different than a therapist, or what makes you different than a sports psychologist, or what makes you different? Experience is the only thing that makes me different.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, Rob Pelinka tapped me on my shoulder in the family room at the Staples Center and said, our sports psychiatrist just wants to lean in a little bit to figure out how you connect with the guys. Whatever book she's reading is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
This is only experience can do something like this. So
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like makes me different. And I would love to have the opportunity to be able to pour into people on that one-on-one front.
I love it. As we kind of wind down to this wonderful time, I first want to go to all of our listeners, and I want them to reflect, and I want you to reflect. Take some time to yourself. Where are you in your life with your scoreboard? I think, are you in the red? Are you in the black? Where are you at? I think it's extremely important to have your own mirror moments, to where you're looking in the mirror and you're trying to figure out where you're at. The ball will stop bouncing for all of us. Those mirror moments are going to be real, and you've got to look yourself and be honest with yourself. So where are you at? What adjustments do you need to make in your life? Because that scoreboard will continue to be there. You can always win in life. You just got to make sure you're stacking it and you're winning each day. Romell, how do you make sure you're winning your day, even when that life is a beautiful life that we have, but it throws us curveballs? And like we talked about, people have always said, and I always laugh when people, when we were younger kids, you're always trying to grow up faster. But like you said, life doesn't get any easier. How do you handle those curveballs that are thrown at you?
I'm finding the next best available play.
Yeah.
To me, that's the best way to handle a curveball. And one, like we talked about, anticipate a curveball will come. So when life is great, factor in that it might not be this way all the time. In other words, you get money, don't spend it all because you have it. You don't know what's coming around the corner. What if you lose your job? So I think that would be a primary focus. But to ensure that I'm putting myself in the best position to win every day, even when life throws me a curveball, is what is the controllables?
Yeah.
Man, you know how hard that is? Because the uncontrollable dominates our lives. But what is the controllable? I can control the way I smile.
Yeah.
I can control the way I talk. I can control the way I move. You can't tell if I'm having a good day or a bad day. I never wear my feelings on my sleeve because I'm like, the fact that I am alive beats the alternative. And so I don't skip over that itty bitty detail that I have breath in my body.
Yes. And if you don't mind sharing, because it's such a powerful, powerful thing that your family went through. Touch on what your family just went through with your uncle, because it is a goosebumps. I would love for people, I need people to hear this because it is so powerful. Please share what your family.
I was in Mexico. I had just flown to Mexico for a family vacation. Soon as I land, the next morning, I got a phone call from my dad. Hey, my brother's not gonna make it. I'm like, so I fly right back from Mexico. My uncle was found unresponsive in his apartment. Don't know how long he was there. Doctor said if for whatever reason he made it, he'd be a vegetable. He'd be brain dead. He'd have damage. He can't hear you while you guys are talking to him. He's unconscious. He's unresponsive. We're all surrounding the bed. I'm looking at my dad rub his baby brother's head. And I'm more hurt, if this makes sense, that my dad is in pain, that there's nothing he can do. That was so unfortunate to watch. And so we're just kind of gathering around, and my dad kept speaking to him. He was like, Andre, you tough, man. If you can you hear me? The doctor was like, guys, I don't mean to be rude, but this one's over. And so my dad, my family, and his siblings went to the other room, and they discussed when they were going to pull the plug, and one sister couldn't make it. Everyone has to be there before this can happen. So we had to postpone it. And in the meantime, my dad continued to pray, and continued to speak to this dead body, seemingly this coma-stricken body, about him, you're gonna get up. And we look at him and we like, it's over. Eyes are gone, mouth is slain, everything. About 30 minutes before we're about to pull the plug, everyone is there. We're all about to mourn the death and celebrate the life simultaneously. This dude's hand just starts moving.
It's amazing.
And then my dad was like, Andre, if you can hear me, just move your hand a little bit. And he shuffled his hand a little bit. And then you look up a couple weeks later, the tubes are out, and he's coherent, and he's having a conversation, and he knows who he is, and he knows how. He doesn't know how he got there, but he walked in church last Sunday. On his own merit, no limp, wouldn't be able to tell. Whatever is dead in your life, speak to it. Whether it's habits, whether it's your marriage, whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whether it's your company, whether it's something that's been working for so long and now it isn't. I am the best at what I do. This is what I do. I am going to figure it out. I'm going to keep surrounding myself around people until what's dead inside of me comes back to life again. And then I'm going to compress it over and over and over to force life in it. And then you're going to bring it back because you said so. That's how powerful your words are. I've never in my life seen a miracle with my own eyes based off what I read in the Bible. I've seen it for myself. Could not believe that I watched a man be pretty much under, not even know he's in the earth, and then bounce back. It's not over until it's over. So if you really want to put purpose over points, put faith over doubt. Put faith over facts. Put faith over whatever is in front of you. All faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I'm about to make this shot. With what evidence? I ain't shot it yet.
Right.
That's what faith is. Hey, we're about to win this game. How? It ain't started yet. So somebody, you literally need to wake up, huddle yourself up, and be like, man, this is what I do. I'm about to find a way to win today. And I'm going to help somebody along the way. And I'm going to find a homeless man and just give him some food because I know he can't help himself. And you know what's going to happen? You planted a seed, and God will send you somebody that will give you what you can't afford for yourself. That's the purpose over points. How can I help you? And if we're being honest, if you go to Chick-fil-A, no matter what, you know what they say after you? My pleasure. My pleasure. When you are putting purpose over points, it will be a pleasure for life to find its way back to you. And the beauty of it is, Nick, you don't know when it's coming.
Exactly.
You just know that it is. It's like a boomerang. Once I throw it out, I'm chilling. That joint's coming back around.
It's coming back.
Absolutely,
It's
man.
coming back. We talk. It's funny because one of my lines that I steal from you that I have loved every single time I ever get to use it, which I'm going to use it right now, is you do have the most bounce in the room and the most bounce I've ever seen. It's because it's your leap in your faith.
That's it.
And you are just a walking, it's beautiful. That was incredible. I appreciate you sharing that because I know that's a story that is going to run deep for these people. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are, again,
and likewise, bro,
an incredible human being. You absolutely walk with purpose over points. And I thank you so much. If you're listening, I told you, you're probably still in your workout and you're still motivated. You're probably ready to do another hour. If you're watching, I know for a fact you're about to shut this down and you're about to go figure out, where am I in my life on the scoreboard and how can I win this day? Romell, thank you again.
Man, Nick,
God bless
I appreciate you, bro. Love you, bro.
I appreciate you.
Come on, man. At the end of the day, with purpose over points, we just gonna leap before we look and make it happen, bro.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
thank you for having me, bro.
Anytime.